fly.
Oh, fly at the start. We got it on. That's staying in. That's staying in. Okay, so we're at Wynyard Business Park today. Sat in the garden. Might have a game of chess afterwards as well, if we've got time, because we've only got an hour, with someone really special. And if you don't mind introducing yourself.
Okay.
Go for it.
So I'm Emily Bentley. I have lots of different roles. I'm at Wynyard Business Park because I actually work for an IT and telecoms company that's based at the business park. As well as that, I am director of the Tees Valley Business Club. I'm also chair of a car club. And I'm a trustee of a very, very important local charity, the Middlesbrough and Teesside Philanthropic Foundation, which does a lot of work for very good causes in the Tees Valley area.
Wow. I'm going to start with the philanthropic actually, because that's cool, and I'm amazed at how many people don't know about it.
Yeah.
And that's crazy because everyone knows about it. But
yeah.
I can still speak to people now. I spoke to a drug and alcohol in school support thing the other day, and they were trying to raise some money, and I asked if you spoke to the philanthropic, and they said, "What's the philanthropic?"
Yeah.
And I was like,
what?
"Wow,
yeah,
no way." So I've got their details. I'll give you later on. So why did you get involved with that then? How did that come about?
So I'd heard about it because the marketing manager that was with the company that I used to work with at the time had heard about it. So I had a meeting with Andy Preston over at Boho One, which seems to be where a lot of people heard about the philanthropic, and it was in its infancy then. It had just to say kicked off.
Right.
And so Andy explained about philanthropic, what the Philanthropic Foundation did, and I just thought this is awesome and amazing. So I went back, spoke to the managing partner at the firm that I was at, which at the time was Evolution Accountants, and spoke to Martin Barber, and he was sort of sold straight away. Got another meeting arranged in, and we signed up as corporate patrons at the time, so that was amazing. We did loads of fundraising activities, so it was great for team building, it was great for raising awareness of local charities, it was great for the staff, and obviously then great for the beneficiaries at the end of it. So that was the first involvement, and then just getting more involved and putting my time to that charity, and yeah, it's gone from there really.
I think it's something that stands out for Teesside for me is just how prepared everyone is to collaborate all the time.
Yeah.
And it's not always the same in every other town. I've worked in a lot of towns and cities, and it's the same in some places, and some places it just isn't. And the philanthropic's a great example of that, about how they distribute, how wealth's distributed, and how the businesses that are involved and that kind of thing. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I suppose that came about because of your work at Evolution at the time.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think as well as that, it's important to give something back, and that doesn't necessarily have to be money. No. I'm not personally a rich person. You know, what I earn is probably over the average, but sort of there's other commitments in my life, and if I can give what I can give, but give my value in terms of time, and in terms of raising awareness and helping with getting that message out there and getting others involved, and sort of trying to recruit other people to be corporate patrons and centurions, which is the other thing that they do, so that's personal donations, then that's bringing value without having to pay money. One of Andy's things is that people shouldn't have to feel that they have to give what they can't afford, so that those that can afford, that can give, that's wonderful, but there's never any pressure for people. Sort of, and I think that's a great ethos to have for that charity. So it doesn't have to be money, it can be time or anything that you can give, but I think it's important to give back.
Just something. Yeah, I agree. And it's kind of the message we've had with the charity forever is if you've been successful, you've been lucky, you've done well, or whatever, however you want to frame that, it's almost kind of an obligation. You're supposed to send the lift back down for other people to get in, so they can do something. Not everyone wants to do it. Some people are quite protective here in Teesside. It's not like that so much. So
yeah, it's quite cool. Open, friendly people.
Yeah. So you mentioned Evolution. That's nice because that's where I first met you.
Yes,
and you were probably one of the first strangers that supported the charity. And when I say a stranger, there was a lot of support right when I started speaking to people. we recruited a few good people straight away, and there was links there, but you were the first kind of stranger that
strange person.
Yeah, exactly. And you're still a strange person. You're not.
Thanks.
But that's nice. I remember that meeting in the old office.
Yeah, that's right. Over there, that way. Yes, yeah.
And Graham Fitzgerald was there as well. I think
yes,
he was helpful too. And,
yeah.
He's still very helpful for us. Where was I going to go with that there? I guess there's two things I want to get involved with. One, how did you get to where you are in terms of what you do for Evolution?
Right.
As in when you first started working for the company.
Yeah.
But I think first we'll go with how did you get to the company? What was it like? School, college, university? I don't know. You did university, did you?
For 2 weeks.
Okay. Yeah.
So I was one of these people that didn't know what they wanted to be when they grew up. I changed from wanting to be a ballerina to being an architect and designer, car designer, to being working somewhere quite outdoorsy. Never to want to work in an office. I remember sort of having a bit of a tantrum at primary school, going, I want to be outside. I don't want to be in an office, and never thought I'd be office based.
No
obviously I am,
yeah.
Albeit not all the time.
Yeah.
But sort of anyone that says you've got to decide what you want to be when you grow up now is, I think, making a huge mistake with young people, because you can really do anything you want to do if you try and set your mind to it and get people to help you and accept the help as well.
Yeah. Ask for help, but never in my wildest dreams did I think I would do marketing, because I probably didn't know what it was. No.
Whilst I was at school, so I left school to go to college because that's what you did. Because
process.
What else do you do?
Yeah.
You do your GCSEs, and I did all right. I sort of got into college, didn't even know what A levels I wanted to do, so picked things that I enjoyed, which I think actually really is where you go with things. Because why should you sit and do something because you think you should, but you don't enjoy it?
Yeah.
So I did art, and I did geography, and I did sociology, which were three really fascinating subjects. I also at the same time retook my maths because I'd failed it at GCSE level. I got a D, which I knew that later in life that would stand me in good stead if I had that C.
Yeah.
So I was chasing the C. It took me 2 years to chase the C and get the C,
Right.
but I got it. And so
you're still proud of it?
I am in a way, but I just, at the moment, I think the way the education system's going is steering people too far into maths and science and English, and to the expense of the creativities elsewhere.
Yeah.
And I think that's a shame, and it's sad. But this is the way that things are being run at the moment, and that's the way things are. And so I think that, I'm proud that for myself that I stuck at the maths, because I hated it, and I still dislike.
It's an achievement, certainly an achievement on that basis, that that you managed to get through it, knowing the importance of it while not enjoying it at all.
Yeah. So it was my most miserable subject.
Yeah.
But I did it, and it's done, and not that I can forget about it, but it's a piece of paper. It's there.
There's a means to it.
Yeah.
It's the exact equivalent to starting making coffees and files in an office, like I did.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want to do that. I just understood that doing that would help me get to the next job and the next job. Yeah.
So this is it. So then I enrolled to do a 4-year foundation degree in art and design, starting off at Cleveland College of Art and Design, and I was wanting to specialise in interior design.
Right.
But to do that with the foundation, the first year you had to do different subjects, which I wasn't really interested in. And when I kind of started looking over the summer at what I needed to do, I kind of thought, why am I doing this? I just want to get some money and work.
Yeah.
So I started doing some of the projects whilst I was on holiday, and then I got to the centre, which used to be on was one on Burlham Road in Middlesbrough, and then there was another one on Union Street in Middlesbrough, as well as the one on Green Lane. And
is Green Lane the one that's there now?
Well, it's closed.
Yeah. Sorry, you know what I mean.
But yes. Yeah. So I kind of went with my sort of portfolio I'd started to build, and then I was having to do some sort of fashion thing, and I thought, I didn't understand, and maybe it was my ignorance at the time, but I just thought, what am I doing? I don't want to do this. I don't want to do a year of loads of different things that I don't want to do when I know what my end game is. So I got a bit frustrated, and the other reason why I didn't go to uni, I think I'm eating a fly.
Yeah.
The other reason why I didn't want to go to uni is I wanted a car.
Right.
So I really stupidly said to my father, if you buy me a car, I'll stay at university. And my dad said, no.
Well, all right. So, good parenting.
Yeah, good parenting. Yeah, he's a very sensible man. So I said, right, that's it. So I left.
Left where? Uni. Right.
So it was about the second week of September or whatever. And so I ended up enrolling to do something completely different at Kirby College, which was then part of Middlesbrough College, whilst I was there. And I did a diploma in private secretarial work.
Okay. I really want to ask, am I allowed to ask what year this is?
Yeah, of course you can. So this would have been, well, I don't know.
Because I know how old you are.
Yeah. Well, it was in the 90s, I'll say that, because now I work in the industry with cybersecurity, you've got to be really careful what you say on screen, because people can find out how old you are, your date of birth and
generation than I am with
generation.
Like
so I'm a child of the 90s, I suppose. So it was the 90s. So off I trotted, did that. It was postgraduate qualification, but thankfully I was allowed on through one means or another.
Okay.
So it was like starting from scratch. So the people that I was on the course with could all do shorthand at quite high words per minute. They could all do word processing, as it then was. There was even typewriters, guys, so this dates it. Typewriting. There was computer skills. Hadn't really used a mouse before. So this,
imagine kids thinking that now.
Yeah,
kids might not use a mouse now because they don't need one for their phones.
But so this is how ancient I am, and this is how the things were. But I was playing massive catch up. So within a year, I'd managed to get. I don't know if they still do RSAs, but I've got the top RSA levels that you could get in each of those qualifications, as well as doing the diploma.
Right.
But I really enjoyed it.
Okay,
it was so strange. I really enjoyed it.
Good.
Yeah, so that was just a complete.
How much easier is it when you enjoy it?
Well, exactly.
This, like I say, when I go and give talks in schools, I say, like, I don't get paid for this.
Yeah.
Like, there's no money involved. I do it because I enjoy doing it, and so that for that reason, it doesn't ever feel like work. If it starts to rain, we're gonna have to do this on the move.
It's raining, guys. It's raining.
We'll be all right. So the only reason I asked about the generation that you did it rather than the year was it was still kind of a typical woman's job. Is that right?
I suppose
Am I getting on the?
No.
Am I getting on the right lines?
Yeah, I suppose it was.
I'm getting ready to make a break for it.
A typical. Well, you're a boy. You should sit in the
sit
rain.
in the rain. Yeah, but it's no good you going in and me sitting on my own, filming myself in the rain.
I won't go in.
It'll mess my hair up.
Oh, for God's
That's
sake.
the problem. She's going in.
She's going in.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna have to move.
We are.
Right.
We'll just do. We're not going to stop it. We'll just walk and move at the same time.
What happens if we fall over?
Well, don't fall over. It'll be fine.
Right.
Wow, this is the first time this has happened. Right, so Emily might disappear while I'm carrying this. I'll try and keep her in the... Where are you?
I'm getting my handbag.
Alright, shit.
Oh, now you've got your thing.
This is the most entertaining one of these yet. Okay, so
Right.
It was a typical woman's job. Start your company. It was a typical woman's job, what you were doing, right?
Yeah, get my handbag, but I'll tell you what.
No, I mean the typing.
Oh, sorry, the typing. Yeah, so the typing. So everybody on the course was actually female as well.
Yeah.
So, but do you know what? The whole male-female label thing, I've never had an issue with at all. I mean, I've always been interested in cars.
Yeah.
I've always been quite practical, commonsensical. Get my hands dirty. I don't mind mud or anything else.
Were you a tomboy as a kid?
Yeah, I suppose so. Played with action men, dismembered Barbies.
Okay, so you were a tomboy and violent.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
So you know.
Can you do the door? I'll do the door.
You get the door.
Because I can kind of get you in it as well.
Thank you. I'll
You
get
got
the
now.
door.
Nice one.
The door.
Where are we going?
This little desk.
Should we get on this desk?
Yeah,
It's a good
let's
idea.
get on this desk.
We'll have to rearrange some chairs.
Right.
This is easily the most fun one of these we've done. Definitely. We'll put it together and then we'll get you in the shot. Make sure you're in the shot. There we go. We're dry now. There you go. It feels normal now because I'm always on this side.
Oh, sorry.
And I'm not sat on your knee anymore. That's a bit different. It's a bit better. So, that's what I was getting at. Was about it being a girl's job because, you know, we appointed Alexa yesterday. Thanks for sharing that on LinkedIn and Twitter. And it's huge. And appointing Alexa's huge for us for a couple of reasons. One, because she doesn't live anywhere near here. She's got no affiliation to Teesside. No one else is doing it for this reason, but she will get nothing out of it from a, you know, business point of view. Yeah. She really just wants to give back, but she wants to inspire the next generation of girls. And I just feel like, and I don't know if it comes across wrong, I just want there to be more visible role models for girls. Yeah. Because at one time it was, well, you go and be a typist, like you wouldn't have even looked up to the fastest typist as a role model. No. Like, I mean, but lads have got role models all the time. Yeah. I don't know, because I haven't sort of, my role models when I was growing up in my mind were people like David Attenborough. Yes, I know he's a man, but I didn't see it. David Attenborough is a man. David Attenborough is David Attenborough. I agree. Irrelevant of anything, and I've never had any barriers put in my way because I'm a female. I have had, especially with the motorsport thing, sniping. Really? Because you're a lady, and it actually happened to me not long ago. Wow. But that's their ignorance, and I feel sorry for them for that. It's not sorry for me, because I feel sorry for them to still believe that. Yeah. Yeah. That's their misfortune to have that opinion, not mine. Yeah. So I agree with you. So yeah. Bill said something similar. I know just before I interviewed Bill, he'd said somewhere in an interview or something about how valuable it was to have a female on his board or a female director or something like that. And then it came up in the interview with him, because we kind of share the same idea. We retweeted the news on Alexa yesterday and said, well done, you know, it makes sense. And it does. I'm just wondering how that would have been different now if you were. Yeah, I don't know, because I think it's like anything, and I think it's with any discrimination. I think that times, hopefully, are continuing to change. For whether you're female, whether, you know, what race, creed, class, sexual orientation, everything. I think that a lot of people are more open. There's a lot less barriers than there used to be. Yeah. There still are barriers. Yeah, for sure. But I think that it's barriers at every level. Yeah, and it's internal barriers as well. Which is, again, I think it's a shame for people. The thing with me is I try not to overthink things. Yeah. Because when you have time, this is the time thing, when you have time to think too much, it's dangerous. Yeah. And you think things, it gets in your brain and it stops you from doing things. I was talking to someone about this just last night. Right. While we were out for a run, saying the same thing. It makes no difference. No. It doesn't. You don't overthink it. If you want to do it, just do it. Yeah. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Make the decision. So do you remember when you hosted that thank you party for us in here? Yeah. Were you there when I gave the speech? Yes. Do you know how many speeches I've given over the last 10 years, or public speaking events, or I don't just mean for the charity, the amount of times I've had to stand up in front of 40, 50, 60 strangers, and rarely, you know, in the early days, while I was finding my feet, but by the time I did that one 2 years ago, I'm a fairly experienced speaker in front of strangers, and at this level, there's people that are miles better than me, don't get the wrong impression. I fell over my tongue in there. Because for 3 weeks straight, all I thought about was what I was going to say when I gave that talk at that party. Yeah. And I think I thanked the same person 3 times. I was wearing a grey top. I was sweating through it. It was a disaster. So I think, did you save me at the end? Someone saved me. Someone came in and was like, "Yep, well done, Steve. Yeah, nice one," and kind of shut it down. I was like, "Wow, that's what overthinking does." Yeah. So I know we've got a bit off topic there. Yeah. In one sentence, because I know I've got to be conscious of time. How do you think your opportunity would be different now as a female if you would say just leaving school? Yeah. I don't think you've actually not really been hindered by being a female anyway.
No.
And it's interesting because I know you fairly well, but I don't know the answer to this question. Go for your sentence first, and then I'll come to the question.
Right. Okay.
So how do you think it'd be different now? If
I actually probably don't think it will be different. I think that now I know. Actually, the only difference would I actually probably would have still gone to university.
Yeah.
And the Teesside University are doing some courses that in collaboration with George Clark, the architect, local sort of northeast architect.
Yeah.
And because that was kind of an area I was interested in, if I'd have then heard about those courses, I'd have probably enrolled at Teesside to do those courses or one of those courses, because that really interests me, sort of the social engineering, architecture and buildings and sort of it's a brand new programme, and I think it's been really well thought of and I think I would probably do that. So yeah, I would have probably done the university thing, but only because I'm aware of that course now. Yeah. So if I was leaving,
the circumstances were different.
Yeah,
would have made a difference about whether you were male or female.
No.
Or the way that's judged in society now compared to when you went.
It wouldn't have. No.
You'd have been in the same.
Would have been the same.
Would you not have thought about going in work experience and working your way up from the bottom instead of university, or are you education orientated?
No, I'm not education orientated. Well, I come from a family of educators. So my mother was a teacher, my father was a teacher, my sister is a teacher. So I am the black sheep of the family, I suppose. So I'm not a teacher, but education is important, and I wouldn't ever say it isn't, because it is. But I think that life and experience can be partnered with that education rather than just concentrating on the education, because academia has a place, but life has a place.
Yeah, I agree. I'm trying to be careful not to engineer an answer, because a lot of the things that I say, a lot of the people that have been interviewed on here, a lot of the messages in the charity are about that. Education is important, but there is another route. You can go and do the work experience, but it's really interesting to hear you say that you would go uni.
Yeah.
Not work experience / apprenticeship / whatever. You'd have gone uni.
Well, it's only because that course is there, and that's something that excites me now as an adult, to think, God, if I was growing up now and I saw that would have been so exciting that I'd have enrolled straight away and I'd have been there and put everything into it.
Wow.
Because that's what floats my boat. But if that didn't float my boat, and if the
course didn't exist, would you then have gone, I still want to be in that, there's no course, right, I'm going to apply to someone working the summer.
Yeah.
I feel like I am engineering an answer now. Would you have done that?
Yes.
I'm not trying to get you to say that.
No. I think that, we've just taken on an apprentice with the business that I work for now, with Communicate, from Stockton Riverside College. Sort of, great guy. He's doing really, really well. He's running alongside that with his college course, so he's getting his college education and he's getting his work experience.
Good on him. Good lad. What's his name? Are you going to give him a shout out?
Yeah, well, Jordan.
Okay.
So yeah.
Right, happy with that.
So, and I think he's absolutely brilliant.
Excellent, well done, Jordan.
Really doing really good things and learning on the job, but also getting that backup education side of it as well. So
he's doing both.
He's doing both. So
I think that's a brilliant combination.
So,
is he working with everybody?
Yeah.
So he's seeing the whole business.
Yeah, he's in the office, sort and plan office.
I've said so many times that it's great, because he's obviously getting paid.
Yes.
It doesn't matter how much, that makes no difference. But he's coming here, he's getting paid, he's getting educated, he's getting work experience. If nothing else, he goes away with it on his CV.
Yeah.
And he's getting exposed to all the mad, awesome, cool stuff that you guys do. He should be paying you.
Yeah. Right.
No, in terms of value exchange, he should be paying you. I say it all the time.
We've not taken on Jordan to just have him for his duration of his apprentice. We've taken him on to be able to grow homegrown talent, and retain that talent, because it's very, very valuable.
If he leaves, he's in a great position to leave. The intention is you don't want him.
But we'd rather him stay with us. Yeah, definitely.
Exactly. So that's what it's all about. And then he can backfill his education. There's a couple of companies around here, I think Heart Biologicals are quite good at upskilling their staff
Yes,
and investing
yeah.
in them and getting them to do more and more and more.
Yeah.
And I quite like that. And most of the employers here want to do that.
Yeah.
Most of the independent ones are,
Yes.
you know, not the big companies,
Yeah.
not the Tesco's and the Asda's
Yeah.
and the McDonald's probably.
Yeah.
They might do it as well, don't get me wrong.
Yeah. I mean, back to the question about, you know, sort of, I think it depends what industry you want to go into, whether you take the education route or whether you take the mixture of education and experience route, or whether you take the pure work experience. And I don't think that, and I'll sort of make this as a point, some people have got a snobbery about different jobs, and I think that's totally wrong. Everybody's got a place in society to do any job, and whether that's working in the supermarket or whether that's working in the bank, it is the same, because at the end of the day you're earning the money to pay for your lifestyle, to have pleasure in life. If you enjoy your job, it doesn't matter what you do. Enjoy it and live your life.
I agree.
You know, I think that this whole hierarchy of, I'm only a whatever.
I hate
wrong.
when people say I'm only a...
Yeah, it's
whatever.
wrong.
It doesn't matter what you do. You should be proud of whatever it is that you do.
I mean, I was fortunate that when I'd come out of my year of college and retraining in the admin, I then fortunately got a job with a firm of accountants in Middlesbrough and started off as the receptionist.
Right. So you could be like, I'm only a receptionist.
So I could have been, I'm only a receptionist, but I tell you what, I was the most important person there, wasn't I? Because I was fronting the business.
Yeah. What's the plaque on Amanda's?
Yeah.
Thing there?
So
oh,
this
sorry,
is it. Yeah, I was going to come to that. But the people that own the business, and I'll shout out to Keith Robinson and Terry Truran, amazing people, never made you feel like just the secretary or just the receptionist. They treated all the staff, whether we had a lovely cleaner as well. Everybody was treated with the same respect, the same value, and everything. So, you know, you start at the bottom, it's not at the bottom. You're integral to the success of the business because you are the front of the business. I was marketing then, I just didn't realise it. I'm picking up the phone to clients that pay tens of thousands of pounds, and if I treat them badly, they're going to take that business elsewhere. I was the front, you're the front line, you're holding that front line, and it's a very valuable role. You know, the letters, how you know, sort of, we did have email, there was email, but you know, there's formal letters, you set them out in a certain way, you're careful, you put the label on straight, because everything has to be valuable. You are serving somebody that it's important. So my job title, after we went on this sort of course, and as I say, everyone was included on with everything, you know, whether you would get sent on a course, even if you were just the receptionist, you were never just the receptionist, you were invested in. And we went on this course and they were talking about how it was to do with HR and how to make people feel more valued in the business and that kind of thing. And one of them was to, if you couldn't obviously afford necessarily a large pay rise, you could change the job title to make people feel more valued. So this sort of, we were discussing it, and so I said, well, what does that make me then? Director of First Impressions? And Terry at the time went, that's brilliant. And we had a client that was a sign writer over in Darlington, so he got in touch with a sign writer and got these signs made up.
Oh, that's class.
So they sat on the desk at the front.
And it's funny.
And that was back in probably late 90s. And now, sort of, we've still got those signs.
So I didn't know that about you. Obviously, I've seen those signs.
Yeah.
Do you know how many people I've told about those signs since I started seeing them?
Really?
Since I started seeing them, because it was on the front desk.
Yes.
You couldn't. It was different in the old office, wasn't it? You could just see through that door to that what was like the reception desk, and it was on there. Because that presumably was Amanda as well, I guess. And I remember seeing it then. The amount of people I've seen, and some people have heard of it and done the same thing. And I was like, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Because it is important.
It is.
And it gave you the opportunity, and we're kind of getting to where I was going to go anyway, gave you the opportunity to springboard within the business and do more and do more and do more. And that's certainly the message I've got just from my own experience. There's the man himself there. Look.
Oh, yes.
Certainly my message is I got in at the bottom and worked my way up and worked my way up and worked my way up and took opportunities and that kind of thing. That's clearly what you did.
Yes, yeah.
So you were only a receptionist.
Yeah.
But then what?
Yeah, so with the way that Keith Robinson and Co was, there was a small admin team, and I was employed to cover maternity cover, and then the lady didn't come back, so carried on. And so you had to do things like you were doing the filing, debt chasing, creating invoices, doing all the timesheets, doing the books, records, sort of payroll, loads and loads of stuff. So you just all the time being given the opportunity to understand and experience things. I got sent on course how to do accounts and things, just so that I would understand the nature of the work that I was
environment I was with. Basic knowledge, or was it?
Yeah. So you know, and there was always investment in the people. So I'm very, very lucky in that respect. And then I was there really happy in my job. And then the partners at the time wanted an exit, so they sold the business to a national outfit. Yeah, it was interesting times. We moved office. Things changed massively, and it wasn't a time that I particularly enjoyed.
Okay.
I'll say that. I think I can say that without sort of speaking out of turn.
Yeah. You didn't enjoy it?
My role was mistaken by that company that took over, and they said they labelled me, and this is where I'll contradict myself, because they said, "Oh, so you're the secretary and you type the letters."
Yeah, so that became...
So
then you were pigeonholed.
So then I was pigeonholed, but I blew my top.
Really?
So I sat with the HR director.
That's interesting.
And said exactly what I did and why her perception was incorrect.
Yeah.
Actually, I probably caused a little bit of trouble.
Doesn't sound like you at all.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like anything you'd do.
So yes. So anyway. But actually, what happened was...
Can I just pick up on something there before you move on? Because I think it's valuable. It's interesting to me. The whole story is interesting, but the fact that you blew your top was interesting.
Yeah.
I just wonder, again, it comes to role models, and hopefully you're now going to be more of a role model to more girls than you've ever been. How many other girls do you think... I can think of some that I've maybe worked with in the past or worked alongside or seen in a work environment who wouldn't have said anything.
Yeah.
And would have stayed quiet. And,
yeah. I think...
Yeah, and accepted it, and then maybe left anyway.
Yeah.
They weren't happy, they maybe just fought with their feet, but...
Yeah, you're right, and it is to do with... And the same thing actually happened at school. I'll go back to school. I was bullied at school.
Oh, really?
I was bullied. I was not involved in fights, but from being battered perspective.
Oh, wow. No way.
Because I didn't stick up for myself, and I think it was the final year of school when I kind of thought, right, enough is enough, and I only had to stick up for myself once.
Yeah.
And this was a massive learning curve, and the hardest girl in the school was going to wait for me outside. And instead of running away, I went to the fight.
Way. Wow.
And my friends were sort of hiding behind. I was so frightened, and it's not happened since, and I hope it never happens again. My kneecaps were actually vibrating on my legs.
No way.
My kneecaps were like this on my legs. I was so frightened I could barely walk. And I walked to where we were meeting outside the gates.
No way.
And the other girl didn't turn up.
Was it?
And after that, everyone thought she was scared of me.
Nice one. And that was it. So you were the hardest girl in the school, then, is that it?
To this day. So I didn't have to do anything but turn up. And so I completely sort of, even though I was terrified, I still went along to do it. And after that was basically it. I actually loved fifth year. Fifth year was great.
Wow.
At second.
What's fifth year? I'm too young to understand.
Fifth year, oh God, what year would that be?
It?
Yeah, the year you leave after where you do
11,
GCSE. So yeah. And I think that I learnt a very important lesson that day, that you've got to, no matter how frightened you are, you've got to stick up for yourself.
How did you feel about that? I've just been talking on the phone on the way here about mindset shift. I remember being...
Yeah, that totally what it is.
Yeah. I won't go into the story because it took me forever to tell the story,
yeah.
but I was sat, it was the summer holidays, I was 11, I think, and I remember thinking, I want to be in the school rugby team.
Right.
And when I go back to school, I'm going to tackle everybody, because that's all you need at that age.
Yeah.
The ball skills and everything comes later. You just have to be able to tackle. I'm going to tackle everything. It doesn't matter if it hurts, it doesn't matter if I get knocked out, if I get injured. And I did. And I went on to do pretty well at rugby, played for a long time. And it was, I remember the day. I remember being sat looking out of this window and thinking, that's what I'm going to do. Yeah. When I go back, it's 3 weeks and that's what I'm going to do. It doesn't matter what happens. Yeah. And you've done the same there. And I just feel like there's a lot of value in that for young people. They probably have these thoughts all the time. We're not unique in that sense. No. Everyone on the planet's probably had that mindset defining thought. Yeah. It just needs to be, you need to follow up on it, but it needs to be positive as well. Yeah, totally. You can't have a mindset defining thought that then puts you in a negative place. Yeah. You decide that you can only be a secretary. Yeah. If your mindset is that you can only be a secretary, it's over. Unless that's what you actually want to do. Yeah. So I was a bit of a pain, but I put her straight with who I was and what I did and the value that brought. Yeah. Now, anyway, so that was then. Whilst I was there, they were recruiting for a marketing manager, and they recruited a marketing manager. Great girl, Dawn. She works for Teesside University now. Oh, right, cool. So she's senior lecturer at marketing in Teesside Uni. Wow. So absolutely brilliant sort of career path for her. And so the recruited marketing manager, she put lots of faith in me and sort of helped me, gave me marketing tasks to do and all sorts of things. When then Vantis, I don't know if I can mention the name, went pop. It was going a bit wrong. We did a management buyout. Evolution did a management buyout, and took the 3 North East offices. So we became a local firm again. Okay. And we needed a name really quickly, a logo, an identity, and all of that kind of stuff overnight, more or less. And that was just like the birth of Evolution. It was fantastic and it was great. And what an amazing journey and an amazing ride. And then, sort of so long into it, Dawn had been approached by the university and sort of went off to do that. So I thought, right, well, I'll tell you what, I'll go in and see the partners and say, will you give me 3 months to prove that I can do this job? Yeah. Because Dawn's going, I'm not qualified, I've not got any formal qualifications, I haven't got a degree or anything, but I have been helping Dawn, and that's the extent of my experience.
Can you please give me 3 months? Wow. And if I'm no good in 3 months, I'll go back to doing admin.
You can hire a marketing person.
Yeah, but I think I can do this. Will you give me the opportunity?
Gotta ask.
And they did.
Ask for an opportunity.
Yeah, and I did.
Yeah.
And
congratulations.
Yeah. So then I did it. So it was great.
And how did that go?
So
it's gone pretty well, right?
It's gone pretty well. Yeah. I'm pleased that I was given the opportunity. The guys at Evolution then paid for me to do a Institute of Marketing course with the CIM via Teesside University over at the Darlington campus. Oh. So I graduated a few years ago now from Teesside University. Right. Did it on a night. It was really, really difficult to do a full-time job with all of the events and everything else that I do. And do that. And I'll never do it again. Okay. But I did it.
We did it because you had to.
Because they give me the opportunity.
Yeah, you didn't have to, but you had to.
And I would be a fool not for somebody to want to invest time and something into me to say, well, no, actually, I don't want to do it. Yeah. That would be
I'd rather watch 3 hours of TV when I get home instead.
Yeah. So
I'll play Fortnite now. I'm always digging up Fortnite when
I don't play games.
No, neither do I, but I'm always digging on a game.
Yeah. So that was that. And I absolutely loved building that, helping to build that brand on Teesside.
What a brand as well. Yeah. Yeah.
So that was really good.
So that's kind of got you, and it takes me where I was going to go next.
Right.
It's like you've read ahead here. Oh. Whenever I talk about people that are trying to make an impression in Teesside for anything at all, whether they're a new startup, not necessarily companies from out of the area, people who want to develop their network, some people who don't do any networking at all, and have relied on traditional cold calling sales or whatever, I always refer to you, and that's partially because of what you do with the Teesside Business Club, which is amazing, Tees Valley Business Club, you get the name right. When you're at Evolution and now here, you're incredibly well connected, but you've kind of become At least to me and some other people that I know for sure, I'm unofficially going to title you as the Oracle.
Of course, right, okay.
That's how it's going to go. Because, and you've done that, and it's. And I think there's 2, maybe 3 things about it. One, you've actually gone and done it. That takes work to build an actual network of people and build a credibility like you've done. It takes work. You're a female in a male-dominated town where white males run most of everything, and that's and just to caveat that, everyone more or less is fairly accepting and and isn't that way inclined. Don't make it difficult for you as a woman, but it's still different. I'm trying to think of what the girls watching this can get out of it, if you know what I'm saying. And thirdly, how you've managed to transition that for all the things that you do. I think that's quite cool, and you generally want to just help everybody. I think most people.
I think that when I started work, and I went to, as I say, I was included in a lot of things by Keith Robinson and Co. And Keith Robinson could work in a networking space like nobody. You watched him. He was brilliant.
Is that what you did? You watched him?
Yeah. And you saw what value he brought to people by referring work to people. Oh, you need to speak to so and so. I'll introduce you. And no monetary. It wasn't. It's just having that knowledge and saying, well, actually, you need. I know who you need to speak to help, so I'll put you in touch.
And mean it.
And do it. So I used to type his meeting notes up. I used to type his, when he'd gone out to networking events, he'd say I'd followed up so and so, and he'd done this and he'd done that, so I understood the importance and the value that networking brought to businesses and people. And there's other sort of networkers that I met through him. Caroline Theobald of the Bridge Club is the most phenomenal person.
By miles, my favourite Tees Valley Business Club event.
So she's a great connector and a brilliant person, very generous with her time. And there's someone else. Then I met Jane Reynolds. And these are, and obviously those two are brilliant females. I never sort of saw, well, Keith's a male, Caroline's a female, Jane's a female. They're just brilliant people.
Just brilliant people.
That give their time or knowledge to help other people without question. And it's not for any personal
monetary gain. It's not like there's like a referral fee that gets, and that's what I'm saying about by meaning it. You want to help them because you want to help them,
not
because you think that's selling
sub-agenda.
someone later.
There's nothing like that. It's people think, what's in it for that? It doesn't matter. And that's very much how I've learned to network and learned to build up contacts. And the people that I meet that I've either helped or I've seen what they've done. If there's anyone I don't trust, they won't be in my network. If you know what I mean.
And it's really easy to pick those people out as well. I remember meeting a guy who name dropped the whole way through the first meeting, and even that alone put me on the back foot. But the people he was name dropping, I was like, you've got the wrong impression of that guy, and you think it's this, and it's actually, in my opinion, it's this.
You get found out. Never be not yourself.
No, just be genuine.
Never lie. Never create stories that aren't true, because you'll get found out. And it will ruin credibility.
That's the most important thing.
You cannot, and I personally hate. I have a detest for people that are not credible, that lie, and I've got no time for people like that.
No. And again, when it comes to networking, specifically in the business club, people who maybe, I don't know, they just want to take out of the network rather,
There's a business. I mean, it won't be. There is a business reason why people join. So the Tees Valley Business Club, and it's not for profit, and it's run by volunteers, and it's been going since the 70s, and it's a network that's been set up to help businesses, and it's amazing, and we do get business out of it because you meet people, you meet contacts, people. trust who you are, they understand who you are, and then when they need you, then yes, so it does generate income, it does generate business, and that's the whole point. But aside from that, it's a community of people that can share knowledge with each other, share contacts, share problems, pains, or what, this has happened, oh well, I know someone that can actually help you with that. It's not.
I know Keith mentioned because he was lonely when he started his business.
Yes, and this is right. Yeah, this is what
and
happened.
That's why he joined. Yeah. Actually, didn't he end up being a director as well?
I think he was a director, Keith, at one time. Yeah. Sort of great people have been involved with it over the time. Over its years, and helped them to get to where they are. So. Networking is incredibly valuable to businesses and creating your network.
But if what the business club did was solely for income generation for the members, it wouldn't be the format it's in.
No, it wouldn't.
Like the events that I get the most out of are the ones where there is a speaker.
Yeah.
Jane Turner.
Yeah.
Mind blowing. Steve Cochran. If it was just about transactions, you'd just have a room full of beer, wouldn't you, and food, and everyone would be chatting and handing business cards out. And you can go. Do you know how often I go to those? If there's a talk, it's been a long time since I've been to one. When Jane Turner was on, I sat at the back because the intention is I turn up right as it starts.
Yeah.
I don't want to network necessarily. I want to listen to what she's got to say.
Yeah.
I sit at the back,
listen,
and I'm gone before the business card handing out thing happens.
Yeah.
I got caught by, I think it was Jane, and there was a table that was at the back, and we all got moved to the front, so I was literally front and centre. Couldn't leave at the end. I had to stay and talk to people, which is fine, but there's so much value in that. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, it's multifaceted, isn't it, in the way it operates, and people join to get what they need out of it, and whether that's like you, some knowledge, or listening to what people have done and how people have worked in the past and all that kind of thing. Or it's just to build up your network by networking, and you're not really bothered about the presentation. Yeah. It's still valuable. It doesn't, it works on so many different levels, and which is why I love it, and which is why, I'm involved, and as I say, it's been run since the 70s, and I'm a director now, but I feel like I'm a custodian. Yeah. Because it's creating something that's forever. It's something that, whenever a time came, we can hand the baton to somebody else.
The next people and the next people.
To go on.
I'm always thinking about the same thing for the charity and how that's going to work. I don't ever see myself not being involved. Yeah. But one day, maybe this, if someone comes along now, I'm like, I'll run it for free and come up with more ideas, and they've got good ones, then awesome. Yeah. Like, we need more people.
And this is it.
That's how we build things forever.
Yeah.
It's when you're gone, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Someone else can
this whole it's a legacy.
Yeah.
I think it's a legacy, and I think that's why it's really important for people, say for these conversations, for people to share how they might have done things or their thoughts on things. It doesn't necessarily mean that's right for everybody. No. But it's offering an opinion on something.
And they're all different.
And nobody's necessarily right or wrong way of doing things. It's just how people have gone to a certain place with whatever they're doing.
And what the intention is that anyone that watches if they watch the whole thing, they can make an informed decision.
Yeah.
So it's actually, I quite like the idea of going to uni and not getting a job straight away because of this. Not, I'm going to uni because that's what you do. It becomes a process, school, college, university. I'm not a fan of process.
No.
For 48 minutes, I'm going to be really quick at the end of this because there's a couple of bits. But I'm not a fan of process. Process is a substitute for thinking.
Yes.
You create a process for someone, follow this flow chart, and sometimes it's useful, especially when someone doesn't know what they're doing. Yeah. But just shoving them through the system isn't fantastic.
Sausage factory.
That's it. Yeah. And we're not preparing people for the world and for jobs and that kind of thing. So it's important. You've got places to be, and it's funny why you've got places to be, but we're not going to talk about it maybe, unless you want to. We haven't got time.
I've worn shorts today, guys, and I've got a business meeting. So I'm going to have to go home and get changed into something slightly more professional.
It's funny that it's raining now as well. You wear shorts and it's raining. Imagine if you should do it now as a gimmick.
Yeah.
Right, there's two things I need to get. And it's slightly different. If you watch Lisa's one of these, if you watched everybody else's, usually I ask, what would your advice be to 16 to 25-year-old job seekers now, or career seekers now? So it's very broad.
Yeah, it is very.
You know, it's not about school leavers. This is about anyone now who is in a place where they want to start, they want to get a job or maybe a new job, want to start a career. I'm thinking about we might have a 24-year-old just finished uni watching this. He was like, "Whoa, wow! I've done what was it? Declan said the other day. I've done a degree in zoology. Yeah, and I've got this bag full of ferrets or something.
Yeah,
I don't want to do this. Yeah, whatever it was.
Voles.
Like, yeah, that was it.
Voles, yeah.
So it is broad, but what we did with Laser was we switched that into what would you what advice would you give to the female group of those?
Right.
Now, I know that seems really awful because everyone else is going to answer generally, but I want to try and create role models if I can.
Yeah.
So, but and I've got these in the wrong order this time. You have to do this one straight down the camera. You have to look straight down the camera and just in one sentence, 10 words or 20 words or whatever.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's tough.
Pressure. This is unfair.
It's tough.
Right. Females.
What would you do?
Think about what you enjoy. Go and find something you enjoy, and whether it's pays well or not, just do it, and you can concentrate on building yourself to a career as you go. You don't start at the top. Start somewhere, and even if it's something completely diverse, just go and do it. And if you enjoy it, if you don't, try something else, because you've got time.
Yeah, I like that. That's nice.
Just do it. I'm sure that's a strapline.
Yeah, I like it. Someone's got that. Yeah. Usually that'd be the end, but because I'm under time pressure, I've got it wrong. Got it the wrong way around. And the other question you'll have seen, I think you answered this when I tweeted it once.
Right.
When I do groups with schools at the start of every, so September I'll be doing a load of these. Get groups of young people together, and I say, right, I'm going to write these 3 lists. What job do you want to do now? It doesn't really matter. What do you like doing outside of school?
Oh, I think I did. Yeah, I think.
And some of these, I've done this with some adults, like governors and groups of teachers and stuff. There's some existential crises go on, and then the last one is, what do you want out of life?
Right.
That's really important to me. They're all really important when you tie them together because we can do it now. But right now, for you, at the age you're at, which we're not disclosing for cybersecurity reasons, what is it you want out of life, and how has that changed? So is it a helicopter? You know, do you want you know, and you might have wild dreams. You might want to buy every Cinquecento in the world. Am I right in thinking that? Yeah. Every one of those ever, and have them stored somewhere for posterity or whatever. Like, but it might be small. It might be like, you know, you want to be able to buy that pair of shoes. Yeah. Or whatever. You know, what are your goals right now?
Right now, is this to camera?
However you want to do it. I'll
just have a think. So this is right now. What is important to me is that I'm happy. That I'm not too restricted by monies to enable me to do what I want to do, but money is not as important as some people think that it is.
You find that out later.
Yeah, happiness is far more important, and I think you just need to keep not thinking about things. You know, sort of in life. Obviously, do think. But don't overthink things. And I think that's something that you have to keep reminding yourself of throughout life.
And that's important.
Yeah.
And I like that. How do you think that's changed? What was it when you were 16 or 18?
Oh, well,
a Ferrari.
Yes, well, I wanted a car, which is why obviously I left uni. Yeah. And I forgot to mention that within 2 months of starting at Keith Robinson & Co, I'd gone and bought my first car.
Yes. What was it?
The Cinquecento.
Oh, fantastic.
So much to my dad.
Not the one you've still got?
Yes, the one I've still got.
No!
Yeah. So...
There's got to be a GoFundMe project there somewhere.
Oh, I wish. It'd be awesome.
Maybe we do it on the back of this.
But yeah, so that was what I wanted to do, and that was why I left you. Well, I wasn't enjoying it, but as well, I wanted a car.
You want a car?
You know.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you can't get a Ferrari if you don't go to university. And I said, well, I've got my own mini Ferrari. It's Italian.
Yeah, exactly. It's close enough.
Yeah.
It's close enough.
Yeah.
And look, we're like 54 minutes. This is going to sit really nice. This came up the other day, and I was talking to someone about it. Remember there was an advert last year or the year before? No, it wasn't. It was 2015.
Yeah.
What are you in pursuit of? And it was a if it was Nike running shoes
Oh,
or
right,
something
okay.
like that. I can't really remember, but I remember thinking about it at the time and thinking, wow,
That's
that
a
applies
powerful
to everyone we
question,
speak
isn't
to,
it?
but it applies
Yeah.
to me. Now, I know, since then,
Yeah.
I can give you a definitive list,
Right.
and it's always been adjusted, and I'm always thinking about what it is that I'm in pursuit of.
Yeah.
And it's not by the minute adjusted, because that'd be insane.
Yeah.
But it's every year around this kind of time.
Yeah.
August is my planning month, every single year. So I know exactly what I'm in pursuit of, and that's long-term goals and shorter-term goals. It surprises me how many adults couldn't answer that question definitively at a moment's notice,
No.
and that's why kids can't do it.
Yeah.
And they don't know what they're in pursuit of, and actually understanding what you're aiming for, whether it is to buy Newcastle United. I'm not a Newcastle fan. I'm not an anything football fan actually, but that's fine. But it might be your first car. Sharon did it great. She talked about something she wanted so much that she could taste it, and your actions map towards it. That's important, but you've got to start with actually knowing what it is that you want.
Yeah, but then see, I'm of the I don't know what I want. I think for me it's a feeling. It's not a thing.
Yeah.
It's not objects.
Yeah, but you could write it down.
I could write it down, but it'd probably just be it's in pursuit of happiness.
Fine.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's what it's all about. It doesn't have to be a thing.
Yeah.
Some people don't want things.
Yeah.
Other people don't want things.
No.
I used to want things.
Yeah. I used to want things.
Cars and watches, and I wanted to be flash.
Oh, if I won the lottery,
I'd be
God,
different.
I'd be building my own race circuit. I'd have an underground garage with 1 million different cars in, and I could take out every day. But aside from that, I would still offer my time to people because
that's it.
You know, I think it's people. Without people in life, you can't operate without people.
No.
And without people, you can't really get to anywhere.
No. So you've got to be invested in people somewhere along the line.
Yeah.
I agree. That's pretty cool. Thanks a lot. Since this is the most public forum I've got available as well.
Yes.
I just want to say thanks for what you've done for us since 2012. So we're coming up 6 years.
Oh my God, is it?
20th of November, 6 years. Yeah.
It's so frightening.
I know, isn't it? 6 years.
6 years. Crackers.
But thanks.
No, thank you.
You've done a lot for us.
No,
Like
thank you
most
very
people
much.
have, but you've done probably more than most.
Ah,
Thank you very much.
No problem. Pleasure.
Cool. See you later.
Bye.
Thank you.